So, very early on, Raquel was getting pretty much the best of Rhea, and it took until she got a really clean headbutt for her to get any offense back in. They took each other to task here. She eventually got caught with a big elbow and a big boot drop and took her down. Rhea ends up trying to flip out of a suplex that she's going for and starts hitting some of her lariats and gets a big drop kick. From there, she tries to go ahead and get back in some offense, and she catches her with a wrecking bomb drop kick, so that was good. And then we get to the picture-in-picture, and I'd rather just go to commercial. It's so difficult to see what's going on most times.
Yeah.
Especially with all the effects and the setting and the fog, and it was just exceptionally difficult. So they battle back and forth continually, and, we get more big boots, more bonsai drops, and finally we get to the end with the Riptide. It was a good, solid, 13-minute match. Hopefully the feud between these two is over now. We've seen them fight at least enough in my book, and I'd like to see Rhea Ripley move on from here.
It was a really high impact, fun, brawling type match. Like I really liked that. I thought it was another match right at the right time. I thought they were really believable in the ring. They just
like they tweeted out, power versus power. That was their point of this.
Exactly. It was exactly that. It was really powerful, and I really liked it.
Yeah, excellent match, and perfect amount of time too. It didn't. If it went any longer, it would have dragged. So this was good.
Yeah,
even with the one commercial break, I liked it. Then we get actually a funny segment with Drake Maverick. I haven't really cared for what they've done with Killian Dane so far. Most of it to me has been lackluster and silly, pretty pointless. And as much as they have like good character work with each other, you can tell they have a decent amount of chemistry. It hasn't been something that's worked for me personally.
Yeah.
But tonight, Drake Maverick dressed like, Hulk Hogan and calling the announcer Mean Gene. That's when he gets sandwiched between the Yeti, the return of the Yeti, and and then Dane comes in as a shock master, refuses the trip. He's like, "No, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid." So Dane puts Drake Maverick grabs the helmet, says, "I'll do it," and then trips anyways.
Yeah.
So it was funny.
It was kind of funny. Yeah, I liked. It was again good pacing because they needed something like that at that point. The show was kind of serious at this point, and that like little bit of comedy was perfect. The tone had been pretty serious and like horror and Halloween, and then all of a sudden they made a joke out of it a little bit, and it was like, oh, like they really needed that right there. So,
and this change of tone also led into what was coming next with a continuation of the House of Horrors match, because now we had a bit more of the bizarre, but in the CWC. So for them to change that, that mindset, knowing like, hey, it's going to get a little bit sillier from here on out, I thought was okay. It set you up for the second part nicely, because the first part was supposed to be like a little more serious and ominous and scary. This was supposed to be scary yet silly at the same time. So
yeah. And, for the people, by the way, I did a double live because we were so shadowed on tonight. So for the people watching on the smaller live broadcast, I did put the link in the chat for you guys if you want to come over to where all the other people are chatting, although it is in members only mode. But we're having a members party tonight, Halloween Havoc night. We are having a members party. Hit that membership button down below and become a member if you'd like. Here's another one.
We have a new member.
Oh, I think Mickey.
JCS Army.
It's either replaying it because I hit it, or it's actually telling me that he upgraded his membership. I'm not really sure which one that is yet. But either way, thank you. And the top donation so far of our stream, thank you guys for trying to keep us going here on YouTube. Soundwave92 with the $29. He is the top jack-off lantern, or whatever. Jack me off lantern, jack off lantern. I don't know. He's the top pumpkin, okay, right now. $29. The turkeys ate us donation. All right, top pumpkin.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly?
Yo.
Look at this stuff. Oh,
Lewis.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
What's going on?
Shotzi looked sexy AF.
Yeah, Shotzi looking like Elvira hot tonight.
Yeah, all the costume changes. She looked great.
Great job. Changing really quickly. Everything was live, I believe, so that was a pretty good effort there, executed by Shotzi. So, and then, I thought it was really cool. I liked it. And, on to the next thing, I guess, Jake. Lewis, 66. Thank you, sir.
So now we have the continuation of the Haunted House Horror of Horrors match, and we get Grimes rushing back into the CWC, and he kind of gets backed into the ring by some female zombies when he's taking a breather in the cemetery. The zombies are all contorted and twisting their bodies like pretzels, and they're scaring the crap out of him. That's when Loomis shows up as the fog lifts and rises in the ring. He appears, kind of looking like a Patrick Bateman, type person. And he hits Grimes with a huge spine buster. Now the wrestlers start to come in, and one of the female zombies crawls up Loomis, kind of hangs around him, goes and crawls up onto his shoulders, and Loomis uses her and throws her onto Grimes in a really cool, moment. And then they went ahead, and I remember Wade Barrett was yelling, like, "That's Dexter Loomis's sister." I thought that was funny. And
that was kind of funny, yeah.
From there, Grimes hits one of the zombies and tries to go ahead and get away, but Loomis makes Grimes pass out, and that was it. So he ends up winning. I like the production value here, and I like what we got to see. It was fun.
If you gave Dexter Loomis Stone Cold's music and he came out there and said, "I'm going to beat somebody's ass," like, dude, that is Stone Cold. Dexter Loomis, he's got that cold. He's got that cold stare, man. He looks like Steve Austin, like in 1996. Like, he looks a lot like Steve Austin. I just can't stop thinking it. I mean, this was he's a more theatrical type, like almost like if Undertaker and Stone Cold were definitely a serial killer. I know they based Stone Cold on a serial killer. Like, so, and early on, Steve Austin was like that. And he started to change, obviously, a little bit. And especially in the 99s and 2000s and 2001s, he really became more of a fun badass, and then also a comedy act as well. But when he was in that 96, 97, 98 time, he was actually scary, bro. You actually thought this guy's going to kill somebody or something. And that was the best thing about it. Let me go to the members right now who are funding the show, keeping the shows alive. And the villain, bro. Villain's got something to say. Let me see if I can pull it up the right way. We got Nightbot. Where's the villain? The villain. Who do you think is taking the title off EO? At Jake DeMarco. Jake, who do you think is going to take the belt off Io Shirai?
That is a great question, because I'm really not sure. At one point in time, I had considered that Rio would come back and it would be like a long build but it doesn't seem like that's going to be what they're going for at this point. Ember Moon, again, when she came back in such a big moment, and then I'm like, Tony Storm, it seems like they want to hold off with still too. They just have so much talent that I'm Dakota Kai, gun to head. I would say Tony Storm would be the one. I would think she would be probably the next big deal that they would go for, but I would prefer Dakota Kai. I really like Dakota Kai's heel run that she's got going on. So
it's starting to become one of those things where, like, I don't even care about all these things about who holds what titles whenever. I just want a good show. Give me a good, entertaining matches and shows. And then once those things start happening, then I'll start thinking like, oh, okay, I think this person is in line next, or maybe at some point this could happen there. But when NXT, I really don't know yet. But yeah, Dakota Kai, I guess, seems like the next person that could be. But I don't know why you'd really do that unless Io Shirai was like leaving. Unless Io Shirai is leaving.
That's why I said I'd want her to win, but it just doesn't seem like that's what they're going for. I think Tony Storm more than likely, but even still, I mean, no matter what, this women's division is the best. As far as any wrestling division they have right now.
Oh, far and away.
Women, high and above, they are the best. And I'm curious now, with all the news and rumors and teasing that we're getting from Thunder Rosa, I would love to see her in NXT.
She's going to WWE, man. I mean,
they're the ones that can give her a bigger contract. Surely.
I got in a fight with people on Twitter about this. They were like, "Where is she going?" I'm like, "Well, think about it. She has a broken down car not that long ago. Nobody could pay for it. AEW has given her some stuff and had her come by, but WWE can offer her more money. That's just the bottom line."
She was waiting for AEW to reach back out to her.
Yes.
So
yeah, and it could listen. It's it's WWE's going to offer more money. That's just all it comes down to. WWE is able to offer her, well, whatever they want, really, but WWE is most likely offering Thunder Rosa between $150,000 and $350,000. That's what WWE is likely offering Thunder Rosa. These people on Twitter don't understand. They're like, oh, the Khan family has more money. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All the people in AEW took a pay cut. Except for Jericho and a couple other people like that.
Yeah.
But Jericho is the only one. Everybody else took a goddamn pay cut. Who are the Southern guys? I can't remember the name. The Dash and Dawson or whatever they are now, Dancer and Prancer or whatever the hell. They took a huge pay cut to go to AEW. They
just wanted their own creative freedom.
Pay cut. They were both offered $500,000 in WWE, and now they're getting paid whatever they're getting paid in AEW. I think it's like $200,000 or $150,000. So they took a massive pay cut. They were about to make $1 million in WWE, and they decided to go to AEW and make $150,000, $200,000. So the people that are just ridiculous, that are like, oh, you did take Tony Khan has all this money. What? No. Like, there's no way. There's a million people have taken a pay cut. Matt Hardy took a pay cut. They've all taken
just because Khan has more money, it doesn't. Well, it's his father's money, but
yeah,
even
they have
Tony has access to more capital, whatever you want to say. The thing is, they also said that they were limited on how much he could spend for AEW. Wasn't that what was reported a while ago?
Yeah, they have a budget. The reason why they didn't go, we need to get Matt Hardy bad, offer Matt Hardy $5 million. WWE's offering Matt Hardy. WWE offered Matt Hardy like $3 million or something for 5 years or 3 years or whatever it was. They offered Matt Hardy like millions of dollars to stay, and AEW offered Matt Hardy like, I don't know, 300 something, 500,000, 300,000. I think it's 300,000. So if AEW is offering Matt Hardy $300,000. And it's like, dude, it's not even close. And even if they did offer them, even if they had offered Matt Hardy $1 million, WWE was still offering more and would have matched whatever or doubled it or whatever the hell it is.
Far and away more money. Like you said before, that's the thing. WWE has been giving out these lucrative contracts just to keep people, put. They don't want them going to AEW. That's why. I mean, we've seen Randy Orton and others go ahead and get more money out of WWE just at the thought that they could go to AEW. So, not a bad tactic, but
yeah, it's just so Thunder Rosa. I mean, if she's not jaded yet, she's thirsty. Thunder Rosa is thirsty. She doesn't have that jaded, like, bad feeling about WWE yet. So, if one company offers you $300,000 or $250,000 or $200,000, and the other company offers you $100,000, who are you going to pick? You're going to pick the company that offers you more money, because that's your first big-time contract.
Exactly. And you got to remember, people like Dash and Dawson, whatever their names are now, they went ahead and they had money saved up. They both said that they were frugal, they held on to their money, and that's why they were able to make a decision that wasn't money-based. But as you just said with Thunder Rosa, she was on the show, talking about her financial woes and basically seeking help from fans at one point in time. So this is a gigantic opportunity for her. And I wouldn't lament whatever she decides, so long as it's best for her and we get to see her wrestle more, that'd be great. But personally, I would kill to see her at NXT just because of all the women talent there. I think she would thrive greatly.
Yeah, that'd be really sick to see her there, man. I would love to see it. Again, we are live. One of the streams is like kind of shadow banned, so here's the link to that if anybody wants to come over and watch. There's a couple 100, 300 people over there. They offered him pennies so he could get hurt. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. We are live on multiple locations right now because one of the streams is just hidden. Nobody got the alert, so only some people got the alert. Only people that were patrons, I think, mostly, and then other people got the alert other places. But yeah, so we've got 90 watching in a different spot and 300 in a different spot. So, it's something to do. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened, but this typically happens on YouTube. Who knows what it is. But we got bullshitted again, but that's normally what happens. So, I'm close to just saying fuck this YouTube shit and buying a shotgun. But it's just like, what are you gonna do? But I don't give a fuck, man. But I'll make sure to videotape it so you can watch it.
All right, so
Pat
as long as you stream it.
I will. I don't know if I'll stream it, but I'll upload it.
I wish I could find it. I have the download somewhere. Maybe you still have it, but it was probably my favorite thing that you've ever done, and it was with you and your old co-host Dave. You were. I still laugh thinking about it. You were talking about it was a random. No, it was a random 30-minute podcast. You had uploaded audio only, and I had it for years on my phone until I switched phones. And you went on all these, as depressed as you were, you went on all these ways that you were going to kill yourself, but you were so convinced that even that would screw up that it wouldn't work. So you set up countermeasures. So you could you're like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the shotgun in my mouth, but I'm going to do it on the roof with pitchforks at the bottom of the roof, lined up all the way around while there's a mote of fire. Like you just kept elevating it up and how, so that no matter what, you finally tried to kill yourself.
I've repeated it so many times that I think people actually know what you're talking about. Cause it's a foolproof way to make sure you go out, because you don't want to wake up like in the hospital, like all jacked up, like, oh my God,
you'd say,
I come
back as a vegetable, so that'd be even worse.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Don't want that.
Some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Randy Viper.
Joe Rogan laughed at his mate assaulting a female. Joe Rogan is a faggot.
What?
I've said it all this time, that bastard is a shitty influenced Joe Cronin Joe Rogan. I know for a fact our internet god Cronin wouldn't stoop that low.
Randy Viper, thanks for the $3. I don't know what he's talking about. Joe Rogan laughed at his mate assaulting a female?
News to me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I like Joe Rogan, but he is a midget. He is a small guy. Joe Rogan is a tiny person.
What else we got?
We'll say that.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Joe, I want to know, what are you gonna do now Drew's daughter has the belt? Now are you gonna let get away with throwing that cup of semen in your face when showed the belt? I am a former assassin.
I don't know what all that means, but AJ Adams, what I'll do is I'll call like the DSS people and I'll raise his kid. That's what I'll do. And I'll get the belt back at the same time. And I'll raise his kid. And then I will also have the belt. It'll be like a double thing. And then on top of that, I'll make sure the only person that can visit him in jail is his mother. All right? So trust me. Rogan. Yeah, why does it say Rogan like that?
This is back from June 20th, but this article states that Joe Rogan faces backlash for laughing about his friend coercing women to perform oral sex. I haven't heard the clip yet, but because we're covering this on air, but Joey Diaz made a joke saying that he only let female comedians get stage time unless they give him a blowjob. And somebody said, well, if you're one of these girls, speak up. And Rogan laughs in the clip when he's talking about it.
Well, it's a joke.
I call it backlash.
That's a joke, right?
That's what it says from here, but they're saying no. And Diaz, Twitter users resurfaced a clip from 2011 where Rogan hosted comedian Joey Diaz. In the clip, Rogan laughs after Diaz boasted that he wouldn't allow women comedians on stage without performing oral sex on him. They are saying it's serious. The other side says it's a joke. Rogan laughs and claps and appears to make no attempt to condemn Diaz's actions.
Because Rogan thinks it's a joke, obviously. Like, he's got to think that that's a joke. I would think it's a joke.
I'm not listening to the whole thing.
I would have laughed too. I would have been like, that's fucking hilarious. But if he was like, no, I really did that. I mean, I might have laughed too, because he's just so, you know what I mean? Like, Joey Diaz is just so funny that it's like you can't even take it seriously. So you're like, you laugh. You're like, it's not real. Is he serious though? I mean, if he is serious, it's a little bizarre. But I
don't see any follow-up yet, but I'll have to look into it.
I don't know, man. I can't picture Joey Diaz actually being like, yeah, you want to be up? Then suck my dick. They made the comedian suck his dick? That's weird.
I can't picture that, but
that's
nowadays, you know, with people.
I don't even know. We'd have to look that up. I highly don't really believe, though, that, you know, that they were serious. I mean, unless there's a clip. I don't even know why this is being brought up now, but, like, it's, if you want to, I mean, like, Joey Diaz.
It's something for us to cover on our podcast. We'll have to talk about it. This was, in fact, go figure, the 13th edition of Halloween Havoc, so Unlucky number 13. The first one was in 1989. Tommaso Ciampa was next up. He cut a promo backstage, talked about, things are different in NXT this day in age. It's not the same. People are always backstage blaming one another, and he didn't have to do anything like tweet or create any buzz. He said that some people are hungry, they eat. I'm hungrier, I get fed. That's kind of his thing. And he said he's going to start off with Velveteen Dream, and the first time that you hit Ciampa with a cast, shame on Ciampa. But the second time you do it, you become a dead man. Awesome promo, so well delivered, so intense. That was scary. So
another Boston guy, man. Another Boston guy. I love Tommaso. Good promo. Good stuff. Another good stuff. Casey is Ross says, I agree with Jake. Drew Bar 100. Blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at the chat. D. Welsh. What up, D. Welsh? The villain's been here with all those old games. Oh, he's making fun of Casey's games. Well, we really didn't get a ton, so let's bring the chat back to life on the let's see here. Let's bring the chat back to life.
Oh, bring it back to life. Look at that.
Bring it back, baby.
Our Frankenstein's monster. It's alive.
Bring it back to life.
Right as Awandi says, is it me or is the chat dead?
Awandi, we had the chat on members only mode, dude. But the members weren't chatting; they were just kind of hanging out. So I figured bring the chat back. Okay, we'll bring the chat back to life for you.
There we go. Right for the main event of Io Shirai taking on Candice LeRae in after they spun the wheel and made the deal, we found out it was a tables, ladders, and scares match for the NXT Women's Championship. Nice that they had an overrun too again. I always like when that happens because you don't know what to expect. Love that. Excellent match here. Ladder match between these two. You knew it wasn't going to disappoint no matter what the stipulation, but lots of action, huge stunts. The Scream Mask person shows back up, and eventually, as I said, helps after some huge moments of them two going through the tables on the outside that they had set up earlier.
Right.
That was a great spot. The masked person goes ahead, carries Candice LeRae up to the top of the ladder, but she can't quite get it because Shotzi comes in to take out the Scream Mask person, and they brawled out to ringside, fight away. And that's when Io Shirai comes in, sets up the second ladder, and knocks off Candice LeRae of her ladder by pushing it over. She takes a huge spill to the outside, ass first, onto a ladder that was set up, bridged between the ring and the announce table. She ass first, then her back goes right through that ladder. Huge spot, really great moment. And Io Shirai is able to climb up a little bit more, grab her belt, and retain Women's Championship.
I loved it, man. I thought the match was pretty good. All the matches were predictable on the wheel. They were all the goofy ones. So that was kind of weird, but whatever. It was good. I really liked it. And talk about, man, going through the ladder at the end, dude. She went off the ladder, through the ladder. Candice LeRae, that was sick, bro. Great match to end the night, man. I thought fucking NXT was fire tonight. I liked all the shit they did. I liked everything. 8 out of 10 from me. NXT, probably the best show of the year, maybe. Or top 3 or 5, but I missed a lot of them.
Definitely in the top.
Oh, my God, it was good tonight.
No doubt about it. I'd give this an 8.5, surely. I was really thrilled with everything we got here. I had high expectations, and they met them all. And I gave it my full interest, and I was not disappointed one bit. Plus, there's a lot of intrigue as to where we're going forward. And that's one thing I do appreciate that AEW does a good job of, and NXT continues to do a great job of as well, is thinking of the future.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Casey, why are you laughing? You tried to lure Drew's daughter into your molest van with cookies and milk, which was actually your you sick sister kissing Kentucky chicken fucker.
AJ Adams, thanks to the $3, man. Yeah, Casey, what are you doing? By the way, somebody said Joe just sicked Brenna on Drew's daughter. That's a good point. And Brenna's dangerous, dude. I'm telling you. I don't care if your daughter's older, younger, whatever it is. Brenna will.
She's fierce. She's a fierce warrior.
Brenna will hurt somebody, bro.
Who was it in the chat? Was it Clambake that just said the Joe Rogan episode was taken down?
It's not down. I
Howard
checked.
Jones?
It's up.
No, it 12 minutes ago it was just posted.
It's up.
What else we got?
Is it?
Oh,
it's
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly?
It's
Look
up
at
in
this
video.
stuff. Oh,
On
a little
YouTube,
bit of the
yeah, but not on
bubbly.
Spotify.
No, on Spotify.
It was true. Even Joey Diaz said he was serious.
Oh.
Anyways, here I am an SJW. You like me, I like you. Get that camera out of my face. Colonizer. Love you, Joe and Jake. Shout out to Pocket Aces in the chat. He wants to suck my dick.
That is hilarious that he referenced that. Here I am, an SJW. That's hilarious, man. What a reference. Nah, bro, it's right here. I got it on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's in
I
video.
believe you. I'm just saying, I see all different websites reporting right now. Breaking, Spotify deletes Joe Rogan episode.
If they did, I mean, they did. It's back. Or, I mean, like, I have it.
This was reported at 10:51 p.m. last I see, so.
Yeah. Yo, Mike Biederman. Yeah, we have 2 streams going because we got shadow banned on the other stream and nobody could find the podcast. So we're up on 2 streams. For the 900th time, we're up on 2 streams. We're up on 2 streams. Colonizer. And we were in members mode because, people being faggots. So, don't blame me, brother. Blame the people. Brenna would probably hurt somebody pretty bad. So great stuff from NXT. Amazing, 8.5, 8, whatever. I almost want to give it more, like a 9. It was just I just had such a good time. I thought to myself, I hope the ropes are orange. And then they were orange, and it was like, cool. And the atmosphere looked good. They had seemingly had more people in the crowd than normal tonight, maybe a little bit, just not by much, but it just felt loud, man, at times. I don't know, they mixed the music the right way. It just felt exciting. It felt like kind of an exciting Shotgun Saturday Night meets NXT, this live anything goes feel. So it was great. It was really good.
I like the bats that flew by every time they showed a picture-in-picture, a replay. Like you mentioned, the orange ropes. I like the fact that they had at least the inflatable pumpkin for Johnny to destroy if they weren't going to have the other one. The set looked good. I like the fact that the audience was in costume. Just the whole feel was nice. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I did a bunch of videos earlier today too, by the way, on the podcast. I thought the Alex Jones podcast, man, it just lost its luster after an hour because Rogan kept fact-checking everything, and it was just like, oh my God, this is not like their normal podcasts. It was good, but it was like not, it just started getting worse, like more normal. I don't know, man. It was weird. It was.
That's the thing we were talking about. I was talking to Stephen Hilton said before. He's like, Joe knew Alex would get going. That's his thing. I said every time he would get into his role on conversation, you'd see Joe became so worried of being canceled that he'd have to fact check every single thing. If you're that worried about him being proven right, then don't have him on as a guest. It just wasn't, to me, a good listen.
Well,
because you couldn't get engaged every time. Like, you just cut it off, and
yeah,
the conversation was so disjointed.
It was like, just roll with the conversation and then have somebody fact checking in the background and be like, Jamie, and fucking hire somebody if you're that concerned. Hire a fucking guy. It's like, dude, hey, I'll give you $500 if you literally check everything this guy says the entire episode, and then after the episode, and whatever, and then whenever you find shit that you're like, that's not right at all, like, interrupt us, or like, we're gonna look over and you can update and be like, hey guys, just so you know, on the stuff Alex said earlier, it's actually, I'm finding this. That would have been annoying too, though. But it's like, like, what are you going to do? It just wasn't like any of their other ones. It was still good. I would give it like a 7 out of 10, but I would give their other 2 podcasts like a 9 and a 9.5 out of 10. This was a 7, which is good, but for them, it should have been yikes. And Alex Jones was like, most talked about thing I've been doing all year. And I was like, damn, it's too bad. This is going to be the most, because this is going to, it's really going to drop some real estate because Joe Rogan was sober and he was like combative almost, and he was worried. But then he on Instagram, he wrote about it. He said Alex was right about all these things. But anyway, it was weird. Yeah, anyway, appreciate the comment.
Took you out of the conversation a lot.
Yeah, just come on, man.
That's the whole point.
And you know what? I don't think they really understood that was going to happen. I think when Joe looks at it later on, he's going to be like, okay, that was a bummer. Like, doing that was a bummer. And most of what he said ended up being right. So, in the end, all we did was just piss people off. So, whatever. But anyway, Candice LeRae, great stuff tonight.
Yeah,
Io
we talked
Shirai.
about the Hogan backstage segment with Drake Maverick as Hogan, and the Yeti coming back with the Giant and the Shockmaster. I thought that was funny, And then on the AEW side of things, obviously they started off with Hangman Page taking on Wardlow. All was leading up to Hangman Page trying to hit the buckshot lariat, and then he hits it once. Wardlow doesn't go down, and then finally hits it again, gets the pin. Solid, close to 10-minute match there. You knew who was going to go through in the tournament no matter what. We knew it was going to be Page and Kenny Omega, but it was how you got there. And I assumed this match was good, but from everything I read, it sounded like it was going to be a pretty good opening.
Eddie Kingston shit on Lance Archer. I thought that was hilarious. Like, not even close.
Him first being pissed that they're going to commercial and, how dare you cut the commercial when I'm coming out, and him having a match with Matt Sydal.
Yep, that was good, short and good, and he looked good, and he choked him out real good, and it was nasty. Wouldn't let go of the hold,
for move after move, and just try and not overpower him, but just outmaneuver him, and then finally, kick out after kick out. Eddie got the choke in and just put him to sleep.
Eddie cut into Moxley not being there. Moxley kind of looked like a bitch not being there, the way Eddie painted it. So that was pretty good. See, I think Eddie Kingston be a better champion than Moxley.
Well, having him choke out the words, I quit, and barely be able to say it, that's a great look to set up the Moxley match. So.
Yeah, by the way, I have that Rogan clip. But you said it was confirmed that he was serious. I have the clip right here. Let's see.
She's lucky she paid $100. I had girls sucking my dick and giving me coke from Chewy. You think I'm fucking kidding you? Fuck yeah, you gotta suck my dick to get up in the belly room. I'll make a call for you. That's the fucking gateway into coming to Hollywood. Everybody knows that.
How many girls did you have to that?
Oh, 20 of them. I had this little blonde open mic chick dog that used to come up to the Comedy Store with a 20 and just take me up to the belly room and suck my dick, then go do her set. She was tremendous.
Wow.
She finally freaked out. When she got to Hollywood, bro, she was beautiful. And when she left, she had dirty fucking, her nails were dirty. And then a year later, she wrote me a letter to the Comedy Store. You cocksucker, you broke me. I kept shooting sperm balls in her fucking ear ball. Every time she went down, vaya pa la pinga. It ain't broken until somebody fixes it,
Well, I mean, we are talking about a guy who used to sell drugs and steal shit from people.
Yeah.
We are talking about a guy who used to steal shit from people and did drugs. I don't know. I almost wonder if, my opinion is that I don't know if Rogan knows that he's kidding or not. I mean, he says, I'm not fucking kidding. I mean, dude, that's the number one thing I'll say sometimes when I'm joking. When I'm like, I hope a lot of people burn in a fire inside of whatever. And then I'm like, I'm not fucking kidding.
Not kidding. Yeah.
Like, that's hilarious when you say you're not kidding about something, because people expect you to go, I'm kidding. Come on.
Could be he wasn't kidding and he's bragging the whole goddamn time. Doesn't make Joe. What is Joe supposed to do? Arrest him?
I don't know what, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, it's not that. I mean, they blew him. I mean, what the fuck? What is he supposed to say? Now, that was really wrong, Joey. You had women blow you to go on stage? Yeah, I had women blow me to go on stage. It's fucking coming out of his mouth is fucking hilarious. It is funny.
What else we got?
It's not funny in real life.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Joe, if you had a massive platform like Rogan, who would your first top 3 guests be? I'm excited by Cronin Club t-shirt got shipped. Can't wait to wear it around New Zealand.
Hell yeah.
The girls will come on it just by the middle fingers on it.
You're going to have...
Oh yes.
You're going to have, Randy Viper, you're going to have women rubbing their pussies up and down your fucking shirt. Okay? All up and down your Cronin Club. It's going to be fucking pussy juice all over your fucking Cronin Club t-shirt. Okay? Boom. It's unbelievable.
Now, after that whole exchange, the Young Bucks did a sit-down with Excalibur.
Ooh.
And they announced that if they don't win the tag titles at Full Gear, just like Cody said last year at Full Gear, I believe was the right pay-per-view, if I'm close, and he went ahead and made that announcement, if I don't win the title, I'll never challenge for it again. Well, the Young Bucks said, if we don't win these tag titles, we won't challenge for the AEW tag titles ever again.
Oh, my God. Can people
I
stop?
hate this.
What
I
the
hate
fuck?
this so much. Don't do that.
Stop
This
it.
is not This is your first match against each other. Why would you do this on your first match against each other? You're killing the feud here. You're basically saying like you have to win or the Young Bucks will never be tag champions. What are they going to do? Create like a TNT tag title or a, junior tag division or something? Like, come on. I hate these type of stipulations. It just ruins the whole scenario and build for me.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when they did it with Cody either and Jericho. I thought it was foolish then, if you remember.
Yeah. I get you. It's weird. It's I don't like it. Really fucking. After that one, I would think you don't do. I don't know. It's just fucking stupid.
It still screws up Cody because he should have said, if so long as Jericho's champion, I'll never challenge it. But he said, I'll never challenge for the AEW title again. And they had to make a title to make him champion. Like it or not, they had to. So
yeah. You know what?
I just don't want to see that be the case for the Young Bucks. We don't want to see them split up. We don't need to see them win right away either. Just you can have a series with these guys and have great matches. I don't know why you have to put this kind of be-all, end-all stipulation on it.
Well, I think, I don't know. And probably, I don't know. It makes no sense. It's stupid. I'm almost distracted by the stipulation over what's going on now.
But that's my point. That it takes away because it puts so much of the focus on that, being so finite, never again. And they stuck to it so far with Cody, so it says a lot. And here's the thing, too. Last night on Dark, they had one of their best matches in a long time, I think. Like, they usually have good matches, but story-wise, they had Brandon Cutler finally get his victory over Peter Avalon. They were trying so long, and they had to build this up, and you knew it was coming, but the way they did it, the way they told the story was great. Here's the thing. The Young Bucks haven't been coming out to ringside, sticking with their heel persona to go ahead and, not support Brandon. They're on BTE. They're super kicking people. So they're becoming like a darker version of themselves.
Right.
But then on Dark last night, at the very end of the match, when Brandon's about to lose, essentially, the Young Bucks come out and will him to make his, redemption, and then he's able to get the pinfall. So their support led to them, led to Brandon winning. Why are they doing the face thing now and supporting him? I don't get what they're doing with the Young Bucks is basically my long drawn out point. Why make them heels for weeks and then have them do this face thing, and then now you're trying to present them as kind of like it's back and forth. So is it a heel versus heel match, or do you just not know what they are at this point?
Yeah, I don't think they know what they're.
It just
they don't know what they're almost like Vince right now. They're like Vince. They don't know what they're doing, because why were they acting heel and now they're like, we're gonna give sympathy to them? None of it makes sense. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
I don't get it either, and I know they're trying to say that the injury, that with Matt, he was limping last night when he came out, and then again today he said his ankle injury is fine, and it's a baby injury. It won't keep me out of the match. I've been fighting for years. Well, then why downplay that so much if that was the big finish last week? So a lot of this just didn't work for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to hate all over it because I am looking forward to the match, but they're making me look forward to it less and less. Yeah. It's just a really odd, like Paul 3 just said, it's a poor booking decision that they've been making recently with some of these things.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So then we had the town hall, and that came up next.
It was a bit lackluster to me, but it was funny when Tony Schiavone at the beginning, like they were like, Jericho was talking like, what do you like? He was doing the Trump thing kind of, and Tony Schiavone was like, shut the hell up, like, and he was the most aggressive like whatever moderator. He was like, shut the hell up, like it was really funny to me because they after they go through Luchasaurus, Britt Baker, and Reba. And Peter Avalon asking questions. Peter Avalon asks if he can join the Inner Circle. Everyone laughs. Then Mr. Eric B. from Cody, Wyoming was introduced, and that's when Eric Bischoff walks out. And Jericho's obviously not pleased. He's upset. And, like you said, when he gets cut off at one point in time, that's when Tony's like, no, it's still his time. And so it's always good to see Bischoff, but he was probably the highlight of everything that they had here. What this all leads to is Jericho's going to have a match. He said, what haven't you done? You haven't beat me. If you beat me at Full Gear, then you're in the Inner Circle. But the rest of the group isn't all about that.
And they said that, just because he's considering this doesn't mean that we are. So now next week, Santana and Ortiz are going to take on MJF and Wardlow.
Yeah, and that's whatever. I mean, I like Santana and Ortiz. It's too bad the tag stuff was so high that week. They had the brawl out back, and then everything kind of shut down after that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know they couldn't have Hager here because he has his fight tomorrow with Bellator. So obviously, but I wonder if he'll be involved in anything next week.
Yeah, he should be ready to come back. I would think that he'd be coming back.
Yeah. Then we had the Lumberjack match for the TNT title. They basically, you knew it was coming with that. It was just pure chaos. It comes down to John Silver coming in the ring and hits Cassidy. And from there, Cody, clears Silver out of the ring, gets Crossroads and pins him. And that's when every single person, all the Lumberjacks on the outside, run in and start brawling, and it gets us to a commercial while they're saying that, Cody versus Darby Allin, that's coming up. So I from the full description of this, didn't sound like it was that great of a match or anything, phenomenal.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. It was a good intro for Cody. I liked the entrance. And then after that, it was whatever.
Even Brandy joked that he has all the pyro. So
yeah, he's got everything. You better give me pyro. I'm the son of a working guy, whatever. The preview for next week's match, what was it that I wanted to say about that? I forget. You know what I'm talking about? The MJF and Jericho.
And for MJF and Jericho at Full Gear?
Backing up to that match that's coming up, at Full Gear, to be in the Inner Circle. I thought that was kind of cool in a way. I think it's kind of an interesting way to get these two guys to have a match against each other.
At least there's a payoff for the match.
You wonder if this is the spot where the Inner Circle is going to turn on Jericho and then MJF runs the Inner Circle, but I don't know. I mean, maybe
there's no one willing to have MJF come in, so it's kind of odd how they'll set that up. But I think everybody thinks that's what's going to happen long term.
Yeah, so maybe it won't happen. We know AEW, when it comes to you think it's going to happen, they kind of know that too, and so then they
subvert.
They slow burn the obvious stuff sometimes, not all the time though. So it's
but most times you are right, and
yeah. I don't know.
I appreciate them adding in, you win, you're in kind of idea. That's a good stipulation to have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious how they're going to pull it off with the rest of the group. But I do think it'll lead to Jericho eventually being kicked out. He'll have a babyface run as probably one of his more final runs with the company in wrestling in general. I mean, he's getting up there. So
yeah, and I mean Jericho. It's too bad because I don't want him. I want him to keep being that heel guy, And I wonder.
He's still got it. So as long as he's not embarrassing himself in the ring and still able to deliver solid matches and performances, I want him there. I just don't want him to become an embarrassment. Thankfully, he's nowhere near that, but I just don't know how much time he'll have left for wrestling. Realistically, a couple years max.
I'd say he's got another. He could have another 5 years. You
think 5? I was going to say 3.
Jericho.
Yeah.
No, I mean
this kind of schedule.
Yeah, maybe not the schedule. I don't know. Maybe not the schedule. I mean, he looks a lot. Sometimes he looks worse than he is. I feel like because of the drinking.
Yeah, that takes him, swells him up and whatnot.
Yeah, if he didn't drink, he's very swollen looking because he drinks. He's swole, but not that swole. It's the wrong swole. So yeah, I also want to tell everybody once again, Talk Spooky to Me, episode 4 with Leah and Monica is up on the Patreon right now. I just got uploaded, so it's up there for you if you're someone into that. I know there's
excellent. Just for Halloween.
One of the top podcasts right now on the Patreon, and it's up, episode 4. So go check that out. And it's up for all you patrons. You got the alert in your email probably just a few minutes ago. And, man, I had a lot of fun watching NXT tonight, so this was really cool. Tomorrow night is Out of Nowhere, live right here on the Joe Cronin Show. Out of Nowhere, we're going to talk about all the wrestling stuff, the news, a lot of drama news and things going on in the wrestling world. We had Road Dogg leave Twitter. He blocked me on his way out. I don't understand that. I really don't get it. I don't understand this at all. Don't.
Yeah, the real world fallout to Impact's version of Who Shot Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
We've got that to talk about.
Philly's tearing itself
also,
apart.
News about Brody Lee with AEW and some booking plans for SmackDown in the next few weeks leading up to Survivor Series. So we got some things to discuss tomorrow.
Plus, this Thunder Rosa talk is still going to be spiraling around. She put out some kind of teaser video.
Yeah, she wrote AEW, WWE, and NWA on her thigh and kind of pulled her shorts down to reveal each company one line at a time. And then also she kind of made a joke that she was watching Dynamite as well. So
she's doing the Matt Hardy exit.
Yeah, where everywhere looks good.
She ain't going to NWA now. Ring of Honor. What about Ring of Honor? What if Ring of Honor signed her? But they'd have to. I mean, because maybe only if Marty Scurll's. What was he getting? He was getting like $150,000 or something like that.
I believe it was something like that. Yeah.
So
now he's out of the company essentially, but not out. We're going to talk about
shamed.
that tomorrow too. It's a very interesting predicament they're in. So
our friend Jay Aletto put out a question about. You guys saw Jay on Out of Nowhere 5 weeks ago. He put out a question about masks, and then Road Dogg was like, "Hell yeah, buddy!" And then Hurricane Shane Helms or whatever, they got into a brawl about it, and it was all because of Jay. And Jay's like, "Hey, it wasn't my fault. He responded to my tweet," and so it had something to do with Shane Helms, Road Dogg, and Jay. And then I even jumped in and said, "Hey, whoever gives me attention, I'll be on your side." And Shane Helms gave me attention, so I said, "Road Dogg, I'm not on your side. I'm on Shane's side," because he gave me attention. And so maybe that's why he blocked me. Maybe that triggered him off. I don't know. I mean,
he knew you were joking out of everything.
Yeah,
but
maybe he thought like, why doesn't Joe have my side? Fuck this. So maybe he got mad that,
well, regardless, he blocked you in the end and disappeared off of Twitter. So
now I'm upset again, Road Dogg. Navneil Karan just became a patron, I believe. I may have that wrong, or maybe he just became a patron. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for the patron, man. I can barely read this message I got. I got an alert, so I don't even know, man. It was either a donation privately or he became a patron. Either way, thank you, sir. I think it was a patron. Michael.
Hey,
Michael. Oh my God! I thought it said Michael Bloomberg. It's not Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloom. Michael Bloom just became a $5 patron. Shout out to Michael Bloom. And shout out to all the $25 patrons and up, the $25 producers. If you guys want to become a producer, you'll have your name listed down below in the description box when you become a patron, and then so on after that. And, of course, you get all the stuff under everything, $25 producer tier on Patreon, plus you get the 30 hours bonus content a month on Patreon and everything else. So thanks for the people that want to become patrons or go up to Patreon and become a producer. Thank you to those guys. Jake, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, last things we had Serena Deeb with her new NWA championship. She took on Hirsch. 8-minute match. People said it was good. Looked like it was going to be decent with these two. She cut a pre-tape promo talking about her win over Thunder Rosa last night, as we just mentioned. So
it was good, bro. It was a good match.
I heard it was good. I do look forward to seeing it.
I mean, it was good. It wasn't. I don't think it was anything crazy, but it was like, it was good. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, it was she looked good in the match.
I believe it. So she's the match they had last night for the title was really good. So I saw that earlier. And then we had Sean Spears take on VSK in a less than 30-second match. He went ahead and hit his C4 finisher, got the quick win. Really, that was just for them to set up the Scorpio Sky retaliation because Sean Spears trashed his dressing room. They've been feuding for a while, but last night he had trashed his dressing room. So
wow,
Scorpio Sky hits him with a TKO, and he comes out dressed like a bull as well. So that was the joke there. Bull costume. You hear Excalibur. If you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Shut up, Excalibur.
Yeah.
Then we had the main event, I believe, after that, which was Kenny Omega and Penta. And they gave this one a hell of a lot of time. It was a 17-minute match. Everyone expected, you knew it was going to be Omega to win because it's going to be Omega and Page in the tournament for the finals at Full Gear. But even though it was predictable, everyone said that this was a match not to miss and thoroughly enjoyable. And I believe it as well. From everything that I read about the full breakdown of the match, it sounded like really, really, just took out all the stops.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was good. Good thing. I didn't watch all of it, so I can't 100% say, but it looked like to me, From what I was looking at, it looked like it was a really good match, and I like Christina Deeb's. She just had intensity, I think. So, which was intensity you saw in NXT.
Yeah.
So pretty good match there. It looked like I'll go back and watch the whole thing to figure out exactly what's going on, and that's about it, man. Anything else?
Yeah. No, it sounded like it was a pretty straightforward episode of Dynamite, setting up a lot for the future. They booked a lot of things for next week, which is good. That's as I said before, one of the things I always enjoy about them. So next week we obviously have Ortiz and Sammy Guevara versus MJF and Wardlow, Miro versus Trent, Shawn Spears versus Scorpio Sky is going to happen, and then we have Cody, Billy, and Austin Gunn taking on John Silver, Colt Cabana, and Preston Vance, number 10, from the Dark Order in a 6-man tag, and then Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston meet face to face before their Full Gear pay-per-view. So big week for AEW next week as well.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We'll see you guys next week. I uploaded videos on Evil Spectrum 3 today. I uploaded videos on Shame On News today. I uploaded videos on Corrupted Nation today. I uploaded stuff just now on Patreon. Talk Spooky to Me, episode 4 and more. Coming to the Patreon. Plus me and my wife's podcast, Till Death Do Us podcast. And the Corrupted podcast coming this Saturday night at 1 a.m. And more. Tomorrow night is Monetize This. See you there for that.
Tomorrow night's out of nowhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Friday night's Monetize This.
Friday night.
Tomorrow night is out of nowhere. I'm sorry. Yeah, tomorrow night is out of nowhere. We're live right here. I'm JR now. Good night, Jake. Keep it hard. Keep it wet.
All right, everybody. Stay sexy. Have a great night.
Mwah. Shout out to the $25 producers, man, for keeping the show on the air and the show's alive. And whatever else they do, because they do a lot of stuff on Patreon. So shout out to Jman from KC, Kyle M. Smith, Jerome Spicer, Kevin Murphy, TonyFromReveah. We got to do a podcast soon with him. ColdBrewKrew, Junebug, Steveo, Duane Crenshaw, DanH&Cora, Joseph Lightsey, Sith Neegan, Arknolia Strokelbean, Gary Metzler, NickY J, The Weed God, GARGUTS Entertainment, Brian Harper, John Zippay, Adtr, 210, Gordon Bombay, Talk to Me Nice, Drewbar 100, CJ Bradley, Spiderland, Leafs fan, Matt Rossmeier, The Bear 1322, Jason Tarr, Kel Alabama, JD Venom, and Star Scream. Some of these people had to leave this month, so if anybody's out there that wants to become a $25 producer, add your name to this list and the list down below and help us keep going. We're going to need another 5 producers, no doubt about it. And we'll see what happens. Good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed NXT and AEW. I did. And fuck JD from New York.
I knew I'm going to go to America at 3rd grade. I started learning English.